a 3-acre palace on the coast of Goa, the address where India's flashiest billionaire threw his wildest parties. And the day this was filmed, it belonged to no one. Not him, not the banks. Nobody would even buy it. To understand how a king loses his own palace, go back to his last good night. December 2015, Vijay Mallya turns 60 and throws a party this coast has never forgotten. 2 days, 200 guests, a reported $2 million bill. Enrique Iglesias flies in to perform. Sonu Nigam sings. Fireworks light up the sea. And not one guest mentioned the workers who hadn't been paid in years. Because this man didn't just start a company, he was handed an empire at 28. He turned Kingfisher into India's #1 beer. But he wasn't selling beer. He was selling a life nobody else could afford. A Formula One team, a cricket franchise, a private jet, a 95-meter super yacht. They called him the king of good times, and for years nobody asked who was paying for them. In 2005, the king reached for the sky and launched Kingfisher Airlines. Luxury at 30,000 feet and a bonfire of cash. In 7 years, it never made a single profit. It bled 16,000 crore. By October 2012, the plane stopped. The license was gone. The staff walked out unpaid. To keep it flying, Kingfisher had borrowed from around 17 banks. When it collapsed, the bill came to about 9,000 crore, over $1 billion. And here's what made it a national scandal. Most of those were public banks, state-owned. One loan sits at the heart of the criminal case, about 900 crore from SBI Bank. Investigators allege the money was diverted. Mallya denies it and says he offered to repay. The fight is still going. $1 billion of public money, and the man who owed it was about to vanish. March 2nd, 2016. As the banks moved to stop him, Mallya boarded a flight to London. At that moment, he wasn't just a defaulter, he was a sitting member of India's parliament. He resigned weeks later, one day before parliament could vote to expel him. India then invented a label just for him, its very first fugitive economic offender. In 2025, he lost his appeal against a UK bankruptcy order worth over £1 billion. A king can run, a palace can't. On the 13th of May 2016, the banks came to Goa. Their trustees sealed the gates of Kingfisher Villa under the recovery law. The party palace was now just collateral. And collateral has to be sold. So the banks put the king's palace up for auction. It did not go well. First auction, no bidders. Second, no bidders. Third, no bidders. They cut the price in stages, from about 85 crore to 81 down to 73. Still nobody bid, so the bank stopped waiting and sold it quietly in a private deal. The king's palace went for 73 crore. He owed 9,000. So who buys a fallen king's palace? An actor and businessman named Sachin Joshi. And then, the detail you could not make up. 2 years earlier, his company had bought an old Goan beer brand called King's. So one liquor man's palace went to another, who renamed it King's Mansion. The king was gone. The crown just changed heads. And the villa was only the first domino. One by one, the king's toys went under the hammer. His 95-meter super yacht was seized and auctioned off in Malta. His private jet, tail number VTVJM, his own initials, rotted at Mumbai airport. It sold for 34 crore, then was cut up for scrap. Kingfisher House, the airline's headquarters, was valued at 150 crore. It took 9 auctions to sell for just 52. The Formula One team collapsed into bankruptcy. A rival billionaire bought the wreckage and Mallya walked away with nothing. Only the cricket team escaped the fire sale. It won the IPL in 2025 and just sold for $1.8 billion. Not a rupee of it went to the banks. But the biggest recovery wasn't property at all. It was his own shares sold by the courts for over 5,800 crore. In total, the government told Parliament it has recovered over 14,000 crore, more than double the original loan. So Mallya now asks from London, if you took back more than I borrowed, why am I still the villain? A London court gave the answer. After a decade of interest, the debt was never fully cleared. His bankruptcy stands. Mallya bought it all. The jet, the yacht, the team, the palace, all of it real. Until the bill came due and it was taken back and sold for scraps. He calls himself vindicated. The courts still call him a fugitive. Both can be true. Neither buys back a kingdom. The king of good times is still in London. And the good times, it turns out, were alone too. Next, a fortune no one can seize. A temple vault estimated at over $20 billion, guarded, legend says, by a curse.